Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready. Prepare for blast off.
Your fortress of solitude.
Greetings, program.
Glad you're alive.
Your sanctum sanctorum.
Resistance is futile.
Welcome.
This your first triumph. This is where the fun begins.
Proof positive that geeks have inherited the earth.
It's showtime.
It's time to get your geek on.
You complete me.
With Dave Gramillion.
Right. I'm not getting anything. Yes, we're good.
Good.
All right, so people can hear us
You're
now.
breaking
Awesome. Outstanding. All right, so this is a little bit different, I'm going to admit, because we are currently live in studio here in San Antonio at the comfy confines of the Freedom 1160 studios. We want to welcome you all here to Get Your Geek On. My name is Dave Gramillion. I am your ever so beloved talk radio show host, and we are on a never-ending quest to educate everybody about what it is to be a geek, because currently, I mean, everybody's a geek. Whether you think you are or you're not, you're a geek. I mean, there's just no question about it. Even those of y'all, you know, maybe you haven't spent 3 days at PAX South. Oh, God. Whoa. But you see Marvel movies, you see DC movies, you know the actors, you know their faces, you have lived it, you've loved it, every minute of it. And so basically we're all geeks. And that's why we have this show, is to kind of educate everybody about what it is to be a geek, how to be a geek, you know, whether you are or not. I mean, you're going to be a geek by the time you're done with this show. So if I ramble a little bit, I hope you will accept my apology here in advance, because we are on day 3 of PAX South. I just left the convention center not too long ago, hopped it up here. I got a little Whataburger, you know, keeping me going, because I've been basically living off of protein bars and shakes for the last couple of days. And man, what a con it was. It was tremendous. If you missed out on PAX South, I'm so sorry for that, because it was a tremendous Comic-Con. Well, I mean, not even really a Comic-Con. It's a gaming and video con. But we'll get into the details here in a little bit. If you were at PAX South, we want to hear from you at the top half of the hour. You can call us. Yes, we'll be taking calls here at 210-526-3656. Tell us about your PAX South experience, the highlights, the lowlights, what went well, what didn't. Did you pick up a new game? Did you pick up some art? Did you pick up a T-shirt? What really blew you away? What really bombed for you? Yeah, sadly, not everything's going to go perfectly swimmingly at any convention, but we want to hear the highs and the lows and everything in between. So please tell us about PAX South, your PAX South experience. Let me go ahead and introduce my motley crew of one, because John and Michelle are kind of behind the glass over there, and they just see us gesturing, and they're like, "Wait, why is he gesturing? What's wrong? What
you
went
freaked
wrong?"
him out.
Oh, it's Ashley. Oh, I'm so sorry. I met her just now for the first time. Okay, well. Oh, that's okay, because we're recording this, so we can edit the... Oh, no, we can't, because we're live. That's not good. Okay, so my motley crew here of one. Aaron is here with me. Looking from my left, your right, across the radio dial.
Left or all the way in front of you?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you go left around, you can't go right around the table, because the soundboard's there, and I will wreck some very nice equipment. So
that's true.
We'll go left around the radio dial here, and so we'll see. Aaron Shapiro here is joining us. Sir, this was your event, because you are the gaming guru of the show, man. So tell me this: how was it being at PAX as a co-host of Get Your Geek On, as opposed to just going to PAX?
Stressful this time, honestly, because I'm going there with a purpose.
Yes.
Versus, I'm just going to walk around and play as many games as I can. So
now you have goals and you got things to do. And
I did. You made me work, and I don't like working. So it was fun, though. Met a lot of developers, a lot of not just video game but board game developers. They were some of the nicest people I've had a chance of talking to. I think coming from that radio side too, I got a actually talk to them about more in-depth stuff about a game, not just, hey, this is the gameplay or demo. It was, hey, these are the specs. This is what it's about. This is where I got the idea from.
This is how long it took for us to build it.
Exactly.
And there were a lot of prototypes also.
There was. I ran into one game. I talked to them for a little bit. They were actually in pre-alpha and won't come out till next year.
Wow.
But they had a pretty good pre-alpha setup.
Okay.
So it was nice.
That's pretty cool. We have a lot of, I was at Skybound. Skybound was very, very good, very good to us. They were a great group of people. And they were saying, all right, at this table, we have this game, and it's in prototype, won't be out till next year. We have this game over here, and this one's going to be on Kickstarter next month. You can't find it anywhere else. And this game, you can't find it anywhere else. This game, you can't find it anywhere else. It was really cool to sit down and play these games that people won't even get to see for months.
That's true. The one I do want to say was probably one of the nicest ones I got to meet was North Star Games.
Right.
They were one of the nicest ones. They were so nice to us, and they took care of us there. The Exceed fighting game, they were really nice too. That guy was amazing. So those were some of the nice ones, and shout out to them.
And isn't it funny how, we went there, the three big names were Sony, Capcom, and Namco Bandai.
Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco, yeah. And so we expected to go there and get this, this inside look and get, take a look at a demo. Yeah. And nobody would talk to anybody.
No,
I did not see one podcaster, not one radio person, not anybody. Yeah. They were all like, oh, sorry, there are no PR people here at all whatsoever. So
yeah,
that's terrific, I guess.
That was them. They even said that we don't have anything like that. Hey, here's their email.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks,
here,
guys.
you talk to them. Just don't ask me any questions. All I do is move the line along.
But hopefully, the other guy that was with us, he hopefully got us some footage for all that.
Yes.
So he said he was going to go wait in those lines. Those lines were over an hour wait.
They were
just to
crazy.
Play some of a demo.
Like Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 Remake. The Jump Force was there for Bandai Namco, as well as Ace Combat and Days Gone.
Yep. And don't forget, since we are live, that means no pre-show like we typically see on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO Radio. No post-show either, because we got to get out of here. We're done after this.
I'm
looking forward to sleeping. That'd be great.
Sleep.
It's overrated.
But
you can call us also. 210-526-3656 is our number here. You can call us from anywhere in the United States. So please go ahead and call in here. We have Mike from Galveston, Texas, one of my favorite all-time towns because it's right there on the beach. That's awesome. He wants to talk about the movie Glass. Mike, how you doing? Oh, do we have Mike?
Mike.
I'm trying to hear Mike.
I don't hear Mike.
I don't hear Mike. I don't hear Mike either. Where did he go? Mike, are you there?
He got lost in the ether.
Oh. And I'm messing with levels and I'm touching buttons and dials and whatnot.
So I'm not that AV, but you scare me touching it.
Well,
hey, Mike.
We all know what happened there. So my idea is to ratchet up the pressure on the Democrats. There has to be something.
That's not Mike.
That's something else. But, ratchet up on them Democrats.
We have enough political shows. We don't need Mark Levin or Ben Shapiro or anyone.
Hey! Leave my third cousin twice removed by marriage alone.
So, we're trying to get Mike on. While we're trying that, Mike, just hang on. It's live radio. We do what we can here.
We will find you.
So PAX, I have to say, year in and year out is one of the smoothest cons.
It really was. I will give you that. I was talking to another friend. She did not like this year. She went last year. She didn't like this year, but I told her, I was like, she went by herself this year versus last year. And I was like, it's about the people you bring with you. You want to bring people that are going to enjoy this with you. And I think her problem was, she kind of came alone. And I was like, hey. And I told her, I was like, you should have texted me. I would have met up with you.
Going to any con by yourself is just not fun.
Yeah. And so if you ever do a convention and it's your first one or anything, that's probably one of the biggest takeaways. Make sure you go with people that are going to enjoy it, or just take someone who just doesn't mind going anywhere. My friend Jaylene, she went with us, and she doesn't like video games that much, but she just had fun anyway. She was like, I didn't think I was going to have fun here.
It's a completely different experience when you're going by yourself. I've done cons alone.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I think that's kind of what contributed to Dragon Con not working out so well for me, is because I went by myself. Let's try Mike from Galveston. Mike, are you there? We're trying. I don't know if there's a button on my side that I'm supposed to push, or maybe that's the plan.
Is there a button?
I don't know. Let's see. There are a number of buttons in here on some very expensive looking equipment that I can push. Don't know that I want to do any of that. No. I tried those. Buttons. That didn't work. We'll keep trying. I promise. We will keep trying. It's got to happen at some point. Well, Mike, call back. We'll keep trying. So anybody can call in, of course, at 210-526-3656. We're taking your calls. All right.
Well, I want him to push buttons and see what happens, so please call.
I have a feeling if we push enough buttons, like cruise missiles will be fired from someone or something. I mean, there are a lot of buttons here we could be pushing. So PAX it stands for Penny Arcade Expo. Yes. And it started off as, just one of those little independent video game cons, right? And they still push a lot of independents out there. In fact, a lot of big name games started as little independents, and they're all out there, and they're all trying to get their Kickstarter going, and they've got their GoFundMes and their Patreons and everything else. So supporting those little ones really turned into big ones later. I mean, Sony was there; they had a huge presence. Capcom had a very big presence. Those lines were capped so quickly.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So quickly. So, oh my goodness. All right. So if you've been to PAX South, maybe you didn't even go this year. If you didn't go this year, I want to know why. Why didn't you go this year? You can call us 210-526-3656 from anywhere in the United States. We'd love to hear from you. Coming up in the bottom half of the hour, then it's completely open. I mean, it's going to be open season. We'll talk about anything y'all want to talk about when it comes to geeky stuff. So the volunteers, they all knew their stuff. Everyone had some good information. It was laid out very well. A lot of good signage. I think I got lost like maybe once in the entire con. So PAX South really did a great job. Plus, it's right there at the Henry B. So River Center's right there. You got the River Walk and good food, good drinks, good times.
And that was fun. The one thing when we went, what was the name of that game? Furious Sea, which is the VR pirate game, kind of like Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones.
Yes.
But it was really cool looking. VR. Met them. They're from Canada. And so my friend was with me, and we were trying to figure out where to go for like Starbucks for her because she was wanting Starbucks. So the Canadian ended up following her over across the street to Starbucks. And we sat there. We just chilled for like an hour. It was so fun though because it's like everyone's right there. Like you said, everything's right there. So they're all packed in that one little spot. But you just go across the street. That Starbucks was empty.
All right. So let's talk highlights.
Yes.
What really stood out for you about PAX this year?
Some of the more indie developers having their games polished and finished. Those ones blew me out of the water more than I thought they would.
Give me an example. Let's name names.
Okay, I'll name and drop them. If you've paid attention to our Facebook, I actually said thank you to a couple of them already. Bowl Cut is the name of the publisher, and they have Mage Quit. Mage Quit is an over-the-top game. I just hit the mic. Over-the-top game. And you're a mage, and the goal is to basically knock the other mages off and, kill them, beat them up. And as you do this, you become more powerful, and your beard gets longer.
Your beard
grows. So whoever has the longest beard at the end of it wins.
So length of beard equals more power.
Yes.
Essentially. Okay. All right. Good to know. I guess that's. Well, I got nothing.
I got more power than you apparently now.
I guess I got like a day's worth of stubble because I didn't bother shaving this morning. Forget it. Day 3 of a con, man. I was lucky I was able to walk.
No, I don't want to hear that. I had to walk 2 miles on that Saturday.
Oh, my step meter looks wonderful. There's no problem. I walked up and down the Henry B.
Same. The other one, Fantasy Strike, was another good game there. Very simplistic fighting game, but it brought back the roots of fighting games.
Yeah.
Kind of like the original Street Fighter. And by simplistic, I don't mean like, push this one button. But they have maybe like only 4 or 5 buttons you push, and that's it. You don't need to do quarter circle, back, left, up, down, A, B, then C.
Oh, my God, yes.
He took all of that out.
Those are terrible.
They are. And then he put... Which to me, I never thought about it until he said it, and now I wonder why no one else is doing it. The health bar for your fighter, they actually did it to where you can see what quote unquote hit points for your fighter.
Right.
So instead of just one solid bar and you just take hits and you have to guess how much health you have, it's like, nope, this section is 1 point, and that's how it divides it up.
Okay, well, that's
so
nice.
Each character had so much health, depending on, like, one's a rock creature, so he has more health. One was just a regular human kind of looking person, so they had less health. But he's like, yeah, you just put it in there. That's how many points you have. You take that many hits and you're dead.
I liked Skybound had a new game. It's in Kickstarter mode. It was I forget the name of it now, but it was like, how do I put this? It's like Cards Against Humanity, but for movies.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
yeah,
I know, right? It's like right there on the tip of your tongue.
Something.
So what you would do is you would get a character card. Right? Like the one example that I was given was a group of senior citizens. And then you were given a movie plot. Like they were lifeguards on a beach. So you have a group of senior citizens who are lifeguard on a beach. You have 45 seconds to sell the judge on that movie. Go.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay. I could Baywatch the elder generation. I mean, how
this is what happens when Pamela Anderson and what's his name?
David
Hasselhoff are in their 70s.
Hey, you don't hassle the Hoff, okay? I mean,
come on.
But yeah, so the senior citizens at a beach, they're lifeguards, and then in the middle of it, the judge can throw you a twist. He can drop a card and say, okay, but there's a Maserati that transforms.
Yeah.
Okay, and now that's your... So now you have to sell the rest of that movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so it's a group of senior citizens who are lifeguards at a beach, and there's a Maserati that transforms. Oh, okay, all right, great.
Yeah.
How do I sell
That's interesting.
that? So, but and there are a lot of cards in there, too, so that was pretty cool. If you were at PAX, we want to hear from you, 210-526-3656.
The other one, that Exceed Fighting System, that was a card game there. But it felt like I was playing like the actual fighting game for Street Fighter.
Yes.
That season, they have new seasons. That season the recent season that came out this past Friday at PAX was a Street Fighter edition. And that was fun because you actually moved your character based upon if you're hitting, if you're going left and right. So it felt like the old school Street Fighter 2 side scroller.
So what did not work well at PAX South? What was something that was did not hit for you?
Honestly, and this is what I think is funny, and it happened last year, the big developers, Resident Evil 2, Jump Force, Ace Combat, which is Bandai Namco, and Days Gone, only because the lines were so long.
Yes.
If you got there was one point, the halfway mark for the Resident Evil 2 line was a 1 hour mark. Ooh. And that was about the halfway point. So that means if you got in that line, you're waiting no less than 2 hours to play
a demo.
Probably a demo. From what I heard, it was you got a shirt at the end.
Ooh.
So cool, you get a Resident Evil 2 shirt and probably play a 30-minute demo that we played already.
Yeah.
So that you know you're a big company, you know you're going to need to have a big area. Why didn't you go for a bigger spot, or why didn't you try to get more space to show off more? Put 10 more units up there to show.
See, that kind of plays into what I was going with as my low light. Was I thought it was laid out well, but I also think it could have been laid out a lot better. And I've said this in years past. PAX South likes to group the big guys together.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco, Sony, Capcom were all in the same relative area, along with Discord and Mixer.
And also...
And they were all kind of crunched together right there at the front.
Yeah, and you had Xbox there too, don't forget.
Yes.
So
I thought it would have been great if they'd spaced those out. Let's put Sony in a corner. Let's put Bandai in another corner. Let's spread them out, because when they're all clustered together, it was really difficult to walk through some of those aisles, and they had so much untapped space.
Oh, they did. The LAN area, don't get me wrong, I'm a big LAN gamer. I love LAN games, but they had so much to it, and it didn't seem that there was as many LAN players as I thought there would be.
Yes.
But I think everyone was upstairs registering for tournaments, then going to the arena and playing over there. But yeah, it's not spaced well. And give them a bigger booth. Add another 100 square feet or 20 square feet, however much you can give them.
Yeah, and anything,
so they could put more.
But spread them out. Don't put all these big names together.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the lines started to blend together to where I actually heard people say, wait a minute, did we get out of line?
Oh, my gosh.
I thought we were in line. Where did the line go?
Yeah.
And they've done this in years past, too. They put Nintendo and Discord and Twitch together. One year they put Capcom and Nintendo together.
Yeah.
And instead of just spreading it out, put the big names in those corners, maybe have another big name like maybe in the middle, and then put the indies around them, so that it has a better flow. You don't feel constricted like that.
And that also helps those indie developers, because you may see, I just got the Days Gone line is too long. Oh, look at this. Here's this little indie guide. Now this indie guy gets that.
Their app. Did you see the PAX South app this year? They had a line app.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There was a part of the app when PAX went live. This didn't happen beforehand, but you could go into the app and look, and it could tell you where the lines were in to see some of these games.
Wow, that's good, though.
That blew my mind. That is such a great app.
That was a great idea. And you know what? I know we talked. You said the lines were a little messy, but I think honestly, the enforcers, which is their volunteers there at PAX, took really good control of those lines.
They did.
As much as they could, because I mean, let's face it, they're always going to be understaffed. But they really took care of those lines. They made sure that, cap here, nope, don't block the aisle. You need to move in, you need to go here. And they took control. And I heard a lot of the developers praising that.
Yes. Good volunteers. Layout could have been better.
Yeah.
But really, I don't have a lot of complaints.
No, and I agree. The layout could have been a lot better, because the back half of so in the Harry B. Gonzalez Center, it's just an open space, obviously. And if you come in through one of the side entrances, which they call the main one, they had a waiting area because, again, they're that big. Mm-hmm. Once people got through, though, it was done. And you have literally at least a third of that hall empty.
I mean, that it was like, what, 60, 70 yards?
It had to be.
At least, at minimum, 60, 70 yards, and it's just
empty now.
Nothing going on.
We could have kept that line in there's a 100-yard hallway or so? 150-yard hallway. We could have zigzagged everybody through that, funnel them in through the one spot, two spots. And look, now we got, like you said, an extra 70 yards of space for these other developers.
You could put panels in there.
Oh, yeah.
You could do autograph signings in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, you couldn't play games in there because you have to set up and take down. That'd just be kind of weird. But you could put merch booths up there. Yeah. Instead, it was just this giant, empty space.
Yeah, once everyone was in, it was useless. It just sat there, and I actually did one of my interviews. We walked over there because it was quiet. She was like, "Where do you want to go? Let's go over there." And so that was with Furious C.
Oh, it was terrible.
So,
But other than that, though, it was done mostly well. So PAX South was a lot of fun. If you went to PAX, if you've gone to PAX in years past, we still have a few minutes to take calls here. 210-526-3656. Coming up after we got a break for the bottom of the hour news. After that, though, the phones will be open. You want to talk movies, you want to talk games, you want to talk comics, you want to talk whatever it is that floats your boat. I will be here to do that, so you can call in anytime, 210-526-3656. This is the first big con for San Antonio, obviously, of the year. It really kind of starts to kick off the con season once again.
Oh, yeah.
And we have other cons that are coming up. Lori Gonzalez over at Wonderland Mall will have Wizards and Wands. Will be at the end of the month.
Fun.
That's going to be a blast. We got to go.
I'm going.
Have to.
Trying to talk to my friend's girlfriend to go with me because she's big into Harry Potter.
We know Celebrity Fan Fest will be in June. We are still waiting on Alamo City, but hopefully their announcement will come out sometime soon as well. And then we got to find ourselves an in-state trip to go. We got to go to Houston or Dallas. We haven't made up our minds quite yet. I want to go to Corpus Christi Comic-Con. I really do.
I hate that name so much.
What, the CCCC?
Oh, CCCCC. No, because it's Corpus Christi Comic-Con. But it was like, remember the first year they had it? It was in Robstown.
It was in Robstown.
So how does that make sense?
Close enough. Whatever. I mean, no, it all kind of blends together at that point anyway. So
yeah, it's just funny. And from growing in, I grew up in the area, so it's just weird.
And let's see, what else is going on? The Greater Austin Comic-Con, Hill Country Comic-Con,
Fan Day Expos, Dallas.
There's a lot of them that are coming around. So we got to brace yourself.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be big this year. I got a good feeling about this year for cons. Oh, and of course we're going to Star Wars Celebration. We're going to be on the podcast stage.
Ooh, can you talk about
we'll be broadcasting from there.
Is that the one in April?
Yeah.
Or can you talk about the one in April?
No, that is the one in April.
Okay.
That is the one in April.
Okay, I couldn't remember the name of it.
And speaking of that, so we saw a lot of cosplayers as well, but we want to also give a shout out to our friends over at the Heroes and Villains of Cosplay here in San Antonio, an official sponsor of the show here. They're such a great, fun group of people that get together and they cosplay for raising funds for various causes and charities. But if you have questions about cosplay. You're not sure about your cosplay. Maybe you're not sure if your cosplay is screen accurate. It doesn't matter when you talk to our friends over at the Heroes and Villains of Cosplay. Make sure to look them up on Facebook. Join the group, like the page. That is Havoc right here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to break here. We got like 40 seconds left, according to the rapidly dwindling clock. And then after that, the phones will be open. So get your phones in now. Get your calls in. 210-526-3656. We're talking geek. We're talking anything geek that you want to talk about. You get to steer the direction of the show now. Ooh.
That's kind of scary. And then it's just you. I'm a little worried now after that.
Yeah, then it's me because Aaron's got to run.
Yeah, I got to go see.
You're going to see Broly.
Yes, I got to go see Dragon Ball Super Broly. So me and a buddy.
Dragon Z Ball.
Dragon Ball Z Super
Broly. Dragon Z Broly. Broly Z. Okay. All right,
that.
Alrighty, so hang on to the break. We'll be right back here on Freedom 1160 and Freedom1160.com. All right. Well, there we are.
Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.
Yes.
They're gonna rip it off.
Outstanding.
Taking that time right behind.
All right, so here we are. We're back on Freedom 1160 Radio. 210-526-3656 is the number to call in. First half of the hour, we talked about PAX South. It is winding down there now. What a wild 3 days. Just an incredibly wonderful 3 days down at PAX South. Got to try a lot of games. A lot of things that will be coming our way from March Madness. Remember, March Madness is going to be coming. We're going to be working on that. This is Get Your Geek On Freedom 1160 Talk Radio and Freedom1160.com. My name is Dave. Want to say hi to everybody out there, and we'll be taking your calls if you want to talk about anything geek-related, geek movies, geek comics, geek games, whatever. I am throwing the phones wide open. 210-526-3656. You can call in and talk about it here. Avengers Endgame, that'll be a lot of fun. You can talk about that if you'd like. Star Wars Episode 9, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in a while. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We'll be talking about that as well coming up. I want to get into Ghostbusters because why not? Everybody else is. I might as well go ahead and jump into the deep end here. So we had our first two Ghostbusters movies, right? Around the 80s and the 90s. It was a beautiful time. It was a glorious time. Ghostbusters was a wonderful film. The second one was not so much, but okay, all right, it is what it is. We'll give them a pass. And then they came out with the reboot in 2016, and the trailer bombed. The movie did not do well. And now they're coming out with a third Ghostbusters movie that is supposed to follow the first two, and it's supposed to kind of disregard the Ghostbusters movie of 2016. And Leslie Jones is pissed about it. She is livid about it because she believes, for some strange reason, that the only reason that this is being done is because the Ghostbusters movie of 2016 was all girls. Yeah, the four Ghostbusters were all women. This is true. Can't deny it. You had Thor, Chris Hemsworth, in there for some reason, I suppose. None of it was really funny to me. None of it. It was not a good movie. I hate to disagree with Leslie Jones, but, well, all right, let me put this out there. Are there people who firmly believe that the Ghostbusters movie was bad simply because it had women in it? Yes, there are those who think that. Are they morons? Yes, they are absolute morons for thinking that. However, that's not why the movie bombed. The movie wasn't funny. The movie wasn't any good. It wasn't funny, wasn't written well, wasn't acted well, wasn't directed well. There was very little about the Ghostbusters 2016 reboot that was any good. There wasn't. I hate to break it to you. So now Leslie Jones is all up in a tizzy because the son of Ivan Reitman, who directed the first Ghostbusters, is now going to be making this new one, and the trailer's getting positive reviews, and everyone's all excited for it. And now Leslie Jones thinks it's just because there are a bunch of women in the last one, which is not true. That's not the point, the purpose of Ghostbusters. If you want to disagree with me, knock yourself out. 210-526-3656 is our number. If you want to agree with me and say, yes, the Ghostbusters movie itself was it was hot garbage. 210-526-3656. Either way, we'll take your calls. This is a lot of fun. We get to bring y'all in on the show here. The Ghostbusters movie just wasn't that good. Hate to break it to her. It wasn't. It did not do well at the box office. It is now universally just, it's like a bad meme. It's just not good at all. And then they went off, Star Wars went off. Let's shift gears a little bit here, and gave Jar Jar Binks a lightsaber. Did you hear about that? Yeah, I don't know where that possibly came from. I'm sorry. It's my fault. So, all right, so many years ago, I wrote a short story, more of a theory than anything else, that said that Jar Jar Binks was actually working with Palpatine the entire time in the Star Wars prequels. Jar Jar Binks being known for the dunce, the awkwardness that he is, but I just said it was just too coincidental for him to be there. He had to have been working with Palpatine, and so I put forth the theory that he was a Sith Lord. And ever since then, people can't shut up about my theory. They can't stop talking about it. So now in the comics, they went ahead and they gave him a lightsaber. He ends up dropping it, being clumsy later, but still, he's all slashing around with a lightsaber and all that. So it's just, yeah, okay, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. I don't like Jar Jar Binks. I don't hate him. I'm not one of those guys that I hate the prequels. It raped my childhood. It was the worst thing ever, and I wish George Lucas was dead. I'm not that guy. But yeah, the prequels were not good. Even the third one had some big issues with it. Seeing the third prequel at the time, in 2005, going to see it, and I did see it in the theater, knowing the first two were bad. Going in 2005 was like going to somebody else's graduation, like a friend's daughter's graduation. You don't want to go, but you want to see it end at the same time. It's more of an obligation to go see those movies than anything else. So now they give him a lightsaber. They're trying so hard to keep Jar Jar relevant. They're trying so hard to redeem the prequels. And for some strange reason now they just have to go over the top. They got to jump the shark with this. I don't understand it myself. If you can explain it, if you can explain to me the love that they have for Jar Jar, you can call us 210-526-3656. I just don't get it. So going back to PAX a little bit here, we'll be doing our March Madness competition. Let me talk about that for a little bit. So everybody knows what March Madness is in basketball terms, right? You get 68 teams. You get the 4 buy-ins, so it goes down to 64, and then they play each other, see who has the best winning streak for that particular competition. So we do something similar, except we do 16 Marvel characters, 16 DC characters, 16 video game characters, and 16 Star Wars characters, and they duke it out in a great battle royale to see who comes out. And when you enter, which we'll get the website set up so that y'all can enter your picks and all that fun stuff. When you enter and register and make your picks, then magically enough, you get a high score, you win. You predict a lot, you win. And we're going to have some great prizes. Last year, the top prizes, we had Night Watch gave us some board games. SeaWorld gave us some passes, which was really nice of them. And HyperX had this ginormous bundle. I mean, this bundle was huge. Headset, keyboard, mouse pad. I think there was even a hat that was thrown in there. And it was great. It was wonderful. And this year also, a lot of people have kicked in. A lot of people have told me that they want to kick in. They just didn't have the material there, which is fine by me. They'll just ship it to us later. Western Digital wants in. They want to contribute a solid state drive. Yes, solid state. Oh, love it. Skybound kicked in, I think, 5 massive board games. Gamer Mats kicked in 2 of these huge playing mats. I've got other people that want to get in as well. Lucid Sound wants in. Yes, the headset company wants in. A number of companies have told me that's a great idea. They want in. So big prizes will be coming y'all's way for this tournament. I am going to put together a massive March Madness tournament. If you want to talk about that, if you think we should go with a different format, phone number is still 210-526-3656, 210-526-3656. So getting back to the Ghostbusters thing real quick. Ghostbusters, for whatever reason, has become a hot button issue. The first one was such a great movie. I mean, of course, there was going to be a sequel. There had to be a sequel. But then the reboot came along, and I don't understand the purpose of the reboot. Was it to do something different? Was it to do something better? Is there a reason why it wasn't a sequel? Is there a reason why they had to bring the original Ghostbusters cast in, but they're different? I didn't understand, and I think it was the lack of that laser focus that really brought down the Ghostbusters movie in 2016. It was just all over the place. I don't know what the point of the movie was supposed to be except to make money for Sony, and, well, we saw how well that did not go. That just did not work whatsoever. So now that they want to get it, I guess, back on the right track, now all the controversy comes out. Oh, now it's because of, racist, sexist, misogyny, patriarchy, whatever. When that's not the case. It's just, Leslie Jones, your movie wasn't good. It just wasn't good. You look at all the good movies out there. Of the original Ghostbusters, being one of the great movies. One of the reasons why I like the Bumblebee movie so much was that I knew where the focus was, and they kept it simple. Nothing was over the top in the Bumblebee movie, which is what made it great, because there's so many movies nowadays that are over the top. Speaking of over the top, now I'm hearing that Avatar 2 and 3 have finished recording. They finished shooting these movies. Now, Avatar, if you remember from 2009, it is, not adjusted for inflation, the highest grossing movie of all time. It's not even close. It's like $2.7 billion. Nobody will catch that. It can't, I'm calling my shot right now. I knew as soon as The Force Awakens only did $2 billion, I'm like, there's no way. Nobody will catch Avatar. It's just not possible. And the first one gets a lot of flack because it's Pocahontas in space, it's Dancing with Wolves in space, yada, yada, yada. And that's true. The story for Avatar is garbage. It is junk. It is not a good story. It's been replayed so many times, it drives me crazy. However, that's not why we went to see the film. We went to see the film because we were told that the effects would be like nothing we'd ever seen before, and they were right. James Cameron just, knocked it out of the park with the visuals, which is basically why you watch the Star Wars prequels anyway, is because of the visuals, and the flashy lightsaber duels and all that fun stuff. But at the same time, now we have Avatar 2 and 3 coming out. If anything's going to beat Avatar 1, it'll be 2 and 3. We haven't had an Avatar movie in 10 years. And James Cameron is getting ready to come out with Alita Battle Angel in February. But other than that, he hasn't had that much going on. Except Avatar 2 and 3. James Cameron is one of those directors that I'm never quite sure what to make of him. When it comes to George Lucas as a director, he's awful. He's awful. George Lucas is a great idea man. He's good on concepts, but he's a terrible director. He really is. You want to know how many of the movies in the 70s and 80s, the Star Wars movies, he directed? One. And he kind of directed that one. But then the prequels roll around, the ones that caused so much controversy, and he's the one that directed all three of those by himself. So George Lucas, no. James Cameron, though, as much flack as Titanic got, first of all, Titanic made, $148 gajillion, so scoreboard. But if you go back and watch that movie and you ignore the Celine Dion song that everybody hates anyway, it's been run into the ground by now. All right, so let's ignore the Titanic song. Titanic is actually a pretty good movie, and you can tell James Cameron really worked hard on it. So I can appreciate that. So for all you moms and dads out there, Avatar 2 and 3 will be coming out probably after 2020. Probably, I'm thinking late 2020, maybe 2021. I think he waited for the Star Wars craze to die down. Here's my theory. James Cameron came out with Avatar in 2009, and then he was gearing up for Avatar 2 and 3, but then he saw Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012, and he said, whoa. I don't want to compete with 3 Star Wars movies. So he waited. Now, the last Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 9, will be late this year. Yes, there will be some standalones in there, but the main episode movies are done. And now this opens the door for James Cameron to come back with Avatar 2 and 3. He doesn't have to compete with Star Wars. He doesn't have to compete with the Avengers either. Marvel movies will still make money. DC movies will still, well, we hope they'll make money. But now the door is open. James Cameron waited until Star Wars was done before he comes out with Avatar 2 and 3, and it's a brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move. Just beautiful move on the part of James Cameron. This guy knows what he's doing. This guy absolutely knows what he's doing. As opposed to someone like Michael Bay. Michael Bay does not direct movies. Michael Bay directs explosions and shots of women from the legs up. That's what James Cameron does. James Cameron does not direct movies. He doesn't do it very well. He doesn't write very well. He doesn't even produce very well. He just makes things go boom. That's like his tagline. Big thing go boom. A James Cameron. Hello, a Michael Bay movie. So Michael Bay is not on my list of respected actors, although he's consistent, I'll give him that. But James Cameron, on the other hand, really, really, really knocks it out of the park. Just about every time he's behind the mic. Behind the chair, rather. So, if you want to talk Avatar, are you ready for Avatar 2 and 3? 210-526-3656 is the number. I got about 10 minutes left, so we can take some calls if you like. 210-526-3656. We're also, we do Facebook Live here, also at facebook.com/GYGO Radio. And I want to take a quick second here to talk about our friends over at Dragon's Lair of Alamo Ranch. Dragon's Lair of Alamo Ranch on the west side of San Antonio off of 151 and 1604. So it's out there over by SeaWorld. But every single month, there are so many events going on out there. So many events. They have a wand making and potion making class, and they have various game, not just tournaments, but tutorials. You can sit down with the staff, and they will talk to you about these games. They'll run you through these games. So before you buy it, you take it home, and you break it open, and it takes you an hour and a half with your kids sitting there, and you know how long their attention span is, but you got to figure out how the game works. You can do all of that ahead of time over at Dragon's Lair of Alamo Ranch off 151 and 1604. Alrighty, so kind of getting back to all this in general. Half the reason, let's talk about this show in particular, because this is different for us being live like this, giving you all the opportunity to call in like this. Mostly what we do is we record on Thursdays. We do that on Facebook Live, on our Facebook page, which has nearly 30,000 likes. I think we're just about to 29,000, so we're really pushing it there. And we love bringing coverage and pictures and everything from all sorts of content that we go to. All sorts of cons, all sorts of events and parades and anything really geeky related. Almost half the reason why I started the show to begin with is because you geeks do not get enough credit out there. There are people out there who spend tens or hundreds of hours working on their cosplay so that they can appear as Superman and Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren and Wonder Woman and Batman and Green Lantern and everybody else. They work so hard, and they got to stay in shape too, so they got to get the physique. I don't have the physique for it, that's for sure. But they work so hard on this. And what they do year in and year out, and they get no press coverage for it. And what I wanted to do was to start this show so that they could get that type of credit. Nobody over at 550 KTSA or 1200 WOAI is going to cover them. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to go out there and provide some coverage. And we've been hearing about, people all over the nation that have talked to us about what they're doing for their nonprofit, what they're doing to raise money and do hospital visits and so on and so forth. So I wanted to give them the opportunity to have that kind of press coverage. And then the other half is because there's nothing like this out there for geeks. There just isn't. Where else can you go on any radio station? Well, almost any. I think there's like one guy in St. Louis and one guy in Louisiana that's doing something similar to what we're doing, but nobody else. That's it. There are 5,000 political talk shows, 5,000 sports shows. I was hearing a show about how to change your oil in your car, how to trim your trees. One was about how to manage your 401k, and that was it. There's nothing for geeks out there. And when you consider that every single blockbuster nowadays pretty much is geeky. When you look at the merchandise, the apparel, the investment brokers on Wall Street who are wearing Captain America ties and cufflinks and all that fun stuff, why? Why would you not have a Geeky Talk radio show where we can take your calls, where we can talk to each other, where we can do it on the airwaves? Sure, we have a podcast, and you can Get Your Geek on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher and TuneIn and all that fun stuff. But these are the airwaves, the radio airwaves, and it's just crazy that we don't have something for geeks. So I wanted to start this so that y'all could have something as well. We got about 6 or so minutes left here, so 210-526-3656. The phones are open. You can call about whatever you want. If you don't want to call, that's okay too. Geeks can be shy in nature, and that's more than fair. You don't have to call in. I know somebody, Mike and Galveston, want to talk about Glass. Is M. Night on the rebound? Is it possible that M. Night Shyamalan, who came up with such horrible movies, you don't talk about a roller coaster of a career. I got your roller coaster. It started with The Sixth Sense. You remember I See Dead People. That went well. That was an awesome movie. Then Unbreakable, which was still pretty good, I guess. And then from there, it just went downhill. Signs was The Village, which was, are you kidding? The Happening, which was awful. And then Lady in the Water, which was a joke. Lady in the Water was an absolute joke. I'm convinced that was only done for a tax write-off, and that was it. There was really no other reason than that to have Paul Giamatti acting like a 3-year-old. I mean, there was just... No, literally. He's supposed to act like a 3-year-old. That's it. Paul Giamatti, good God. So now we have... now he's come back with Split with James McAvoy and now with Glass. Is he on the... After Earth. Oh, I forgot about After Earth. Holy cow, what a disaster that was. So when you look up M. Night Shyamalan and you look up his movies, more often than not, you're not going to find a good movie. If you're sitting there on Netflix and you're trying to figure out what we're going to watch tonight, more often than not, if you find M. Night Shyamalan, you don't want to watch it. You just don't. But now with Split and Glass, he may be on the rebound again. Good for him. Little redemption. That's always a good thing. So now, I haven't seen it yet. I want to, but I've been at PAX South. I want to see it at some point. I haven't seen Split either, and I want to see Split real bad. I just need to find the time to do that in platform. Is it on Netflix yet? I don't even know if it's on Netflix yet. We'll have to figure that out as well. So I want to see Split, want to see Glass, and I want to talk more about M. Night Shyamalan. Because this guy, you talk about great directors and great promise and great potential. James Cameron, Steven Spielberg are two terrific directors. M. Night could be there if he gets out of his own way. I think M. Night Shyamalan does movies that he thinks sounds good in his head, and then he doesn't take no for an answer. When he asks people, hey, does this sound good? And they're like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, oh, it's a great idea. When it's really not. M. Night goes in way too many different places, too many different directions. It's almost like he pushes the envelope on purpose. Almost on purpose, just to see what he can get away with. And then we get The Happening, or we get Lady in the Water and those awful movies. M. Night has the potential to be a terrific director if he stops pushing the envelope. Because there's only so far you can go. Okay, Quentin Tarantino can push the envelope because he knows where to stop. He knows where those boundaries are. He knows that you can push Pulp Fiction in a certain direction only so far and then stop. He knows where to say. He knows where the line is. Do you know how rare that is in any business? Do you know how rare that is anywhere to know somebody who knows how far to push something and then stop? And then not go further. Because what do you want to do? What is human nature? Human nature is to go further. Okay, I pushed it this far. Can I push it a little more? Can I push it a little more? Can I push it a little more? No, now you're grounded. Or you're fired. Either way. Or the stockholders hate you, depending on how high you go. Quentin Tarantino pushes the envelope and then he knows where to stop. M. Night doesn't know where to stop. If you want further proof, plants kill people in The Happening. Plants. He could have had to be a virus. He could have had to be alien, like Bird Box. Bird Box is The Happening by taking a step back. it's aliens. At least we think it's aliens. It could have been a government experiment gone wrong. We don't really know. But it's not plants. It's not plants. M. Night didn't know when to stop with his ideas. He really didn't. He tried Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that was just an adaptation gone wrong, very, very much wrong. But when it comes to his own original ideas, M. Night just needs to know when to stop. If M. Night can do that, then we'll look back on Lady in the Water and Signs in the Village and The Happening as just that kind of weird period in his life. And then he can be respected again. And then he won't be made into a meme, or he won't be on Robot Chicken forever saying, what a twist. You know, he won't have that. M. Night can be there. He just needs to take that step back. Like James, I don't know that he'll ever be James Cameron or Steven Spielberg. I really don't. I think he has the potential to be a truly great director if he just pulls it back a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, so we're almost out of time here. We're running short on time. So don't forget, we'll be back on Thursdays. We're going to try to get Bob Wills back in here to talk about Celebrity Fan Fest. And we eagerly await the announcement for Alamo City Comic-Con as well. Plus, we want to hear from you. I like to take one in-state trip a year to a big convention. Dallas, Houston, somewhere else. Texas, I want to hear from you. Where should we go this year? Where should we go? Where's a nice big con that we can travel to, stay overnight, and really check out? That's what I want to know. We'll bring Goose along. We'll bring Aaron along. We'll be doing all that. So we'll go ahead and we will cash on out here. Thanks for listening here on Freedom 1160 and Freedom1160.com.